Charlie. This is like, let's see, this is Lake Avenue here. So, okay, so this is like 6 blocks west of where I live in Duluth. And this is Lake Avenue. You can see it's a very steep street here, like a lot of them, but this one's actually long enough that you can really see how steep it is. And Lake Avenue is it's kind of like the street that actually divides the addresses. So which I don't know, I think addresses are kind of interesting, but this has so you start with Lake Avenue, then as you head east, the streets that run parallel with Lake Avenue is like 1st Avenue East, 2nd Avenue East, 3rd Avenue East, and so on. And then if you go west, which is that direction, then it becomes like 1st Avenue West, 2nd Avenue West, up to infinity, or not infinity, but it goes up to at least about 80 or something like that, like way out west. And anyway, so it's kind of like the main kind of like dividing line in Duluth. And it's kind of like the main one that goes through like the heart of downtown, you know, going up the avenues. So a general thing to remember in Duluth is that the avenues are the ones that are the steep streets most of the time, the ones that go parallel with the hill, and then the streets are the ones that go parallel. Although there's still some places where there's some pretty steep parts going up streets too, and they don't always follow that exact grid too, you know, because Duluth's got a lot of interesting geography, creeks, hard rocks, steep places, so it doesn't, to the grid doesn't, they tried to put a grid on it, but they didn't quite get the grid to be perfect on it, you know, like, but it does follow a grid pattern. And then of course the addresses are like, you know, be like East 7th, like 100 East 7th Street, 200 East 7th Street. You know, a lot of people don't realize that actually, that I guess for a long time I didn't realize that, like that a lot of times, like usually when you have numbered streets like that, that they go with the addresses. But although I think like in Manhattan actually, from what I understand, the addresses don't really have anything to do with the numbers of the streets, like 5th Avenue and that kind of thing, so it's kind of confusing. So you'd think they would have made the addresses to fit, you know, the addresses to fit with the numbers, because then you could kind of like know where an address is without actually looking on a map, you know. So, but anyway, Duluth has mostly got numbered streets with some exception. There's some exceptions, but mostly it's either numbered streets or numbered avenues. I noticed like some cities don't really have like the numbered streets. So anyway, but you can see there's a bridge there. That's that big strand of land. That's Park Point. You can see down at the downtown, if you just keep going on this Lake Avenue all the way down, you end up in Canal Park, which is like basically past like that smokestack across the highway. That's Park Point. That's like the big tourist area. And yeah, that's one thing about Duluth, is like no matter what part of Duluth you live in, and even if you live in kind of like a place that's kind of poor, a poor neighborhood, usually there's like some good views, like, you know, at least if not directly at your house, depending on the angle and whether you're on the top floor or not, at least there's like gotta be some good views pretty close. So anyway, I just like these. So a lot of people don't know that about Duluth, that yeah, Duluth is kind of like a little San Francisco with these roads like this. So, and then you got Barricade up there, where that's one of the main streets going that way, Mesaba. It's a big 4-lane road. And actually, let's go up here a little bit, see if I can see it. See, I try to pretty much stay to like walking on the streets, so I'm not usually going up a lot of hills, but there's a couple places, like just like once I get up to this hill here, I'll be on this street here, and it'll be pretty much flat. Anyway. Actually, got to deal with Charlie's trying to like go across. That's what dogs always like to do. They always try to cross you with the leash and kind of like tangle your legs up. Okay, so let's just go up here for a second. I've never actually walked up here before. Okay, here we go. Hold on to Charlie tightly. Yeah, so this is Mesaba Avenue. It's one of the main roads in Duluth. it goes at kind of like an angle. It kind of goes diagonal to most of the roads in Duluth, so it doesn't really go along with that grid. And you can see lots of industry down there, grain elevators down in the harbor and everything. And then if you go up to the top of the hill here and make a left at that light, you get kind of like in the area where there's lots of fast food. I guess it's kind of like the most kind of like suburban feeling part of Duluth up there, but Duluth doesn't really have like that suburban feel to it, you know, so most of it doesn't. Anyway, this is Walks with Charlie.